Do you avoid eye contact because it feels like people can see straight through you? Like if you hold their gaze for more than a second, they'll know everything you're hiding, every fear, every doubt, the version of yourself you're still figuring out. So you look away, the floor, your phone, literally anything else to escape the gaze. And people notice. They call you shy, awkward, unconfident, like it's some flaw that needs fixing. But here's what psychologists say. Eye contact behavior reveals more about personality than most people realize. What if avoiding eye contact doesn't mean you're broken? It means you're wired differently. If you struggle with eye contact, you're about to discover 5 hidden personality traits that explain exactly why. Traits most people will never understand. And once you see them, you'll never look at yourself the same way. Let's go. You know this feeling? If you've ever been in a conversation where someone's staring directly at you, waiting for you to look back, and every second that passes feels heavier. Maybe it started in childhood, when making eye contact with an angry parent meant you were being disrespectful, or when looking at someone meant they'd see you were lying, even when you weren't. So you learned that eyes were dangerous, that being seen meant being vulnerable, that looking away was safer than being looked into. Now, as an adult, job interviews feel like interrogations. First dates feel like performance reviews. Even casual conversations with friends require a level of energy most people don't understand. You're the person who looks at someone's forehead, their nose, just past their shoulder, anywhere but directly into their eyes. And you've gotten so good at it that most people don't even notice. But you notice. You feel it every single time. The guilt when someone says, "Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you." The shame when you're called out for seeming distant or uninterested, when really you're just protecting yourself. You've been told to just make eye contact, like it's that simple, like you're choosing to be this way. But it's not a choice, it's a response. And that response, it reveals something profound about who you are. This is what psychologists call gaze aversion, and it's far more common than you think. It's not about being rude or disinterested. It's about how your nervous system processes social information and emotional intensity. Eye contact is one of the most intimate forms of human connection. When you look into someone's eyes, your brain is processing massive amounts of data, their emotions, intentions, judgments, expectations, all at once. For some people, this is manageable. For others, it's completely overwhelming. Research from neuroscience shows that people who avoid eye contact often have heightened activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center. You're not avoiding eye contact because you're weak. You're doing it because you feel more than most people do. And here's what matters. This isn't something you need to fix. It's not a disorder. It's not a deficiency. It's a difference in how you're wired. The same trait that makes eye contact uncomfortable also makes you sensitive, perceptive, and deeply aware in ways others aren't. You didn't develop this trait randomly. It came from somewhere. And understanding where it came from changes everything. If you're nodding along right now, like really feeling this, you're in the right place. This is Unfelt, where we explore the psychology behind what you feel but can't always explain, the patterns most people overlook. All right, let's go deeper. If you avoid eye contact, you didn't just develop a habit. You developed an entire personality structure around it. Here are the 5 hidden traits that make you who you are. Trait number 1, deep empathy and emotional sensitivity. You feel everything more intensely than most people. Not just your own emotions, but everyone else's too. When you look into someone's eyes, you don't just see them. You absorb them. Their sadness becomes your sadness. Their anxiety becomes your anxiety. It's not sympathy. It's full emotional immersion. This is why eye contact feels so draining. You're not just having a conversation. You're taking on the emotional weight of another human being. Most people can look at someone and stay detached. You can't. Your mirror neurons are firing on overdrive, constantly reading micro-expressions, tone shifts, energy changes. This makes you incredibly empathetic. You understand people on a level most never will. You can sense what someone needs before they ask. But it also means you need to protect yourself. And avoiding eye contact is how you create that boundary. Trait number 2, rich inner world and intense introspection. While most people are focused outward, you live inward. Your inner world is vast, complex, layered. You spend more time thinking about life, meaning, existence, and emotions than the average person. You analyze, you reflect, you question everything. Eye contact pulls you out of that inner world and forces you into the external one. And sometimes that shift feels jarring. You're not avoiding people. You're protecting the space where you do your deepest thinking. This is why you're often called a deep thinker or old soul. While others are skimming the surface of life, you're diving into the depths. You notice patterns others miss. You ask questions others don't think to ask. You see connections that aren't obvious. Your avoidance of eye contact isn't about fear. It's about preservation. You're guarding the inner world that makes you who you are. Trait number 3, hyper-awareness of social dynamics. You read rooms better than anyone. You can walk into a space and immediately sense the tension, the alliances, the unspoken conflicts. Because you're not making direct eye contact, you're seeing everything else. Body language, tone, who's leaning in, who's pulling away, who's faking interest and who's genuinely engaged. You notice what people say versus what they mean. You catch the pauses, the hesitations, the contradictions. Most people are so focused on the person in front of them that they miss the bigger picture. You see the whole scene. This makes you an incredible observer, a natural psychologist, someone people come to when they need to understand a situation. But it also means you're constantly processing, always analyzing, never fully relaxing in social settings because your brain won't turn off. Eye contact would add another layer of information you're already drowning in. Trait number 4, creative and abstract thinking. Your brain doesn't operate in straight lines. It moves in spirals, metaphors, connections that seem random but make perfect sense to you. Avoiding eye contact gives your brain the freedom to wander, to make those creative leaps, to think in ways that structured, linear thinkers can't. Artists, writers, musicians, creators, many of them struggle with eye contact because their minds are designed to explore, not to stay locked in a single focal point. When you're talking to someone, you're not just hearing their words. You're seeing images, making associations, building entire narratives in your head. Direct eye contact interrupts that process. It forces you into the literal when you operate in the abstract. This is why your best ideas come when you're walking, driving, staring out a window, anywhere but looking directly at someone. You're not distracted, you're creating. Trait number 5, authentic connection, over-surface interaction. You don't do small talk well. You don't do shallow relationships. You crave depth, meaning real conversation. And here's the thing. You've learned that eye contact doesn't always equal connection. People can look you dead in the eyes and lie. They can hold your gaze and feel nothing. So you've stopped equating eye contact with intimacy. You've learned to connect in other ways, through shared silence, through listening deeply, through being present without performing presence. You'd rather have one real conversation than 100 surface-level exchanges, and you're willing to be misunderstood as distant or cold because you refuse to fake connection. When you do connect with someone, it's real, it's deep. It's the kind of bond that most people spend their whole lives searching for. You don't need to look someone in the eyes to see them. You see them in ways that have nothing to do with gaze. Real talk. Which one of those 5 traits resonated most with you? Drop a number in the comments, 1 through 5. And if you're new to Unfelt, hit subscribe. We dive into psychology like this every week. Content that actually gets what you're going through. Let's keep going. Here are 4 practices that can help you navigate the world as someone who avoids eye contact. 1. The triangle technique. Instead of forcing direct eye contact, look at the triangle formed by someone's eyes and mouth. Your gaze moves between these 3 points naturally. To them, it looks like you're making eye contact. To you, it feels less invasive because you're not locked into their eyes. This gives you the social benefit of appearing engaged without the emotional overwhelm of sustained eye gaze. Practice this in low-stakes situations first, cashiers, baristas, brief interactions, before using it in more intense settings. 2. Time. Your eye contact strategically. You don't need constant eye contact. You need strategic eye contact. Make brief eye contact when you're listening, when you're agreeing, or when you're asking a question. Then give yourself permission to look away. Most people won't notice if you're looking at them 40% of the time versus 100%. They'll just register that you looked at some point. This reduces the pressure to perform constant eye contact while still maintaining social connection. 3. Communicate your preference with people you trust. Be honest. Say, I process conversations better when I'm not making constant eye contact. It's not about you, it's how my brain works. Most people will understand, and the ones who don't aren't your people anyway. Naming it removes the tension. It stops you from feeling guilty and stops them from feeling rejected. Clarity creates comfort for everyone involved. 4. Find your people. Seek out relationships with people who also avoid eye contact, or who don't require it to feel connected. Neurodivergent communities, creative spaces, and depth-oriented friendships often have people who get it. You don't need to change for surface-level people. You need to find the ones who see you without needing to stare at you. Connection doesn't require eye contact. It requires understanding. So, what does life look like when you stop fighting your eye contact avoidance? It looks like walking into a room and not immediately feeling guilty for how you naturally are. It looks like having deep conversations where you're fully present, even if you're looking at the wall instead of the person's face. It looks like finding people who don't need you to perform eye contact to know you care about them. It looks like recognizing that your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's what makes you perceptive, empathetic, and deeply aware. You stop apologizing for looking away. You stop forcing yourself into discomfort to make others comfortable. You accept that connection doesn't have a required gaze duration. And you finally give yourself permission to just be. Before we close this out, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you wish people understood about avoiding eye contact? Drop it in the comments. Because unfelt is more than a channel. It's a space where people actually get each other. Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you made it this far, you now understand that avoiding eye contact isn't about being awkward or rude. It's about being wired for depth in a world obsessed with surface-level connection. You have empathy most people can't fathom, an inner world most will never explore, a sensitivity that reads what others miss. We started by asking why eye contact feels like letting someone see too much. Now you know, because you do see too much. You feel too much. You process too much. And that's not a weakness. That's your strength.